Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Steven Z and SoCal G podcast. Today, we're just chatting it up, just like usual. So, what's up, Steven?
Not much. Just got out of the shower, put the little guy to bed, and now it's podcast time.
Friday night. What a better
Number
way to
two,
spend it?
number two podcast.
Number two. Yep, number two. So,
Or episode two.
yeah, episode two. So, we've both been working out. How's working? How's your workout regimen going lately?
It's been good. I kind of don't really have like a set program. I've been doing like the kettlebells Monday, Wednesday, Friday with abs, Tuesday, Thursday. But the kettlebell, I'll just kind of find something online that I like and I'll just do that for the day. And I kind of have saved in my phone, made a little special like a favorite um folder that has all these workouts that I like. So I'll just kind of skim through there, pick one that I like for that day and just do that one. So I think it's going to be good just to keep it fresh, do something different every time.
So, also, you
They're
do
kind
something
of
different
similar,
every
but
time?
a little different.
You do something different every time?
Yeah, I feel like most of the workouts are kind of like similar. It's like I'm doing a row, like a pulling exercise, and then either like a snatch or a clean or a thruster for the shoulders, or maybe even like a combination of them, but they're slightly different every time I've been doing them.
And let the world know, like, you're only doing one side of your body right now?
Yeah. So right now, yeah, I'm only doing the right side. So I
Oh,
don't
the
know
right
if you
side.
guys have seen that movie Lady in the Water. There's a guy who just works out his right side and he gets
Oh, I
all
think I have watched that.
and his other arm's all small. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm probably gonna, well, I'm not gonna be as yoked out as that guy is, but I'll probably, my right side will probably start to get bigger.
But when you're working out, you're working out more than just your arm, though. Like, your abs feel that do you work your abs out and stuff, or what do you think the
Yeah,
most part of your body that it hits?
yeah, I feel like doing the kettlebell, it kind of hits everything. Obviously, your legs are involved, your core is involved. But my core doesn't really get sore unless I'm doing it like my Tuesday, Thursday specific, like hitting the abs hard. I'll notice the soreness after that, but they don't really get sore from the kettlebell routine.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're being worked out, but not like hardcore.
yeah. Well, damn. Like, I was watching your routine today, and like you're like dipping pretty. Like, it just seems so bad on my 40-year-old knees. I'm like watching your exercises because I got a lot of like pains and stuff in my joints, my shoulder. I broke my collarbone, and now I think like the muscles you can see here, like the muscles that are going to the collarbone. I think
Uh-huh.
I don't know, it just feels so weird on my shoulder, but then it's also my same thing as you. My wrist hurts, so it's like hard to do like um regular push-ups like I used to, or your hands just like your palm of your hand is down on the ground. It hurts so bad on my wrist, and then my knees. I'm like getting
Just do them
old.
on your. I used to do them on my knuckles until the wrist got bad where I can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, I do them on the dumbbells now. So like I just hold the dumbbells.
Yeah,
Like
that'll
I
work
do
too.
that, and like I try to like hit the palm, or it's like the palm and the arm are just
Yeah,
aligned,
yeah,
and that
exactly.
works pretty
Kind
good.
of create like a straight. You don't want to.
Yeah, it's like more
That's
straighter.
what makes it hurt is that flexing
Yeah.
back. So as long as you
Once you pull
keep
it all
it,
the way back like that with all of your weight, it's like,
yeah.
oh, man, it just hurts. But
As
it's
I
like
get
all my joints are hurting.
just for the camera, that's as far as the left one goes. So this one
Yeah.
for mobile.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of discomfort, but you still got to make it to the gym, right? Like same thing, like you used to use that as an excuse. You said, "Oh, I'm not going to work out because my wrist." But even though
Yeah,
you could do sit-ups, you could do leg workouts, like
yeah,
and other
exactly.
things, like you're working out your left side. But I think that like stops a lot of people to like just the discomfort of it, like, or an excuse of like, oh well, this hurts, but it's like my body hurts too. But it's like I
Yeah,
still
I
have to
think for
go.
me too, it seemed like such a valid excuse that I'm like, it was like justified in my mind. And then eventually I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm sick and tired of not working out. And I'm sick and tired of that being the reason. Like, if that's gonna be the reason, it's always gonna hold me back no matter what. I'm like, I'd rather do what I can and not make excuses about it and just get the damn thing done. So
Yeah, and your body's getting more toned, like because you're on a diet and you're doing all your like nutrition as well.
yeah, exactly.
But that's just the thing, name of the game. It's like discipline and consistency. And there's
Mhm.
always going to be something that comes up. Like, a lot of people have different excuses. You have a kid, you
Yeah,
have your wrist hurts. There's
yeah,
always something going on when you have, a fiance and a kid, right?
Yeah.
but you still make time for it somehow,
Like
some way.
what are you gonna allow to stop you? I think kind of boils down to that. Because even like when I first started working out, I had a different job, so I was doing my workouts like at 4 in the morning because that's when I
Mhm.
had time. I was like, I'm not gonna work out when my son's home because then he wants my attention, and so I want to be able to interact with him and not be distracted by the workout. So I would do them in the morning because I'd be off by 2, pick him up, and sometime after that, around 3 when I got home, and then that was it.
And then you still have to put them to bed early to get your 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
It's like
that's
not enough hours in a
actually
day.
I would actually put him to bed and then go to sleep with him, and that's
Hmm.
how I would get to bed early. Try to get him into bed by like 8, so I could wake up at 4, do my cold plunge, do the workout, and do all that, get all that done before I started my workout. I'd have to be there at 6.
Yeah. And like I don't have no family or anything like that, but I just have like the pains and the work, and it's like I'm trying to
Getting
one
old
of my,
sucks.
huh?
So getting old sucks.
Yeah, so I'm just like trying to figure. That's what I'm trying to learn right now. Like what kind of like what do I need to do to like help these joint pains out? Like when I first started like a year ago, like working out, it's like I just went too heavy. Now I'm just like I see girls and they're doing heavier weights than I'm doing, but they might be younger. But I'm just like, okay, I'll just do the 30-pound curl because whatever. It's like I used to try to do like the 70, and then like your elbows are hurting and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, like so now I'm just like I'll
That's where
just
I've been
do
getting like
lighter
a,
weight,
I
huh?
don't know if it's like a tennis elbow where it's
Yeah,
like
it's
right in here.
uh,
I've been doing like massages with like a ball. You like
mhm.
what are they called? Like a lacrosse ball, and you just kind of work it up and down your forearm and rub it. So
Oh, okay.
that should helped out quite a bit.
Yeah, so but it's crazy. It's just like all the discomfort, but you still got to do it. I was just like, okay, I'll just instead of making excuses, I could have just been like, okay, every single joint in my body hurts. I'm just not going anymore. And then that kind
Yeah,
of worsens it because now you're gonna get fatter, or you lose muscle mass, and then later on down the line, when you get elderly or something, you could fall because you don't have muscle mass, or like obviously your organs could mess up for just heart disease or something for just sitting around. So it's like
yeah,
in
exactly.
my back of my mind, it's like I have to go in order to complete my goal of like living to 90. That's my goal.
Yeah, it's like pick your heart. You can either have the discomfort by doing the workout or have the discomfort later in life when you can't walk and you're bound to a wheelchair and you're
Yeah.
unhealthy, your lungs suck and all that other stuff. It's like which kind of hard do you want? Do you want the hard now or the hard later? Like you're
Yeah.
gonna get it at some point.
And there's always a work around it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
my knees are hurting from running because I was running a lot. Well, now I'm swimming more because I was like, okay, it's summer, get some vitamin D on my skin, but then swim, it's less resistance, but I still get the
I
cardio.
think swimming's hard as hell, man. I do not like running, so I will take anything over running.
You think swimming is hard as hell?
Yeah, just because I think it's like you're working out every aspect of your body. You're hitting your
Yeah.
legs, your arms. It may not. It's tiring. I'm
When's
like,
the last time you
it's,
swam?
it's a lot different than running. Uh, Probably a couple months. Probably around 4th of
Oh,
July. Actually,
you were doing laps?
not like laps, but just
Oh,
like
okay.
swimming and having fun. Not like an intense workout or anything. A
Yeah.
workout swim I haven't done in years.
Yeah, you got to come over and do some laps because it's pretty cool because like it's an official pool that I have. So like I think it was I was doing it today. I
Yeah,
think it's 50 meters, 50
it looks
meters, or maybe
sick.
it's 25 meters one way and 25 meters back.
Okay,
So I'll just swim there and swim back because I have my Fitbit on it. It records like how far you're going. So I think
gotcha.
I did 500 meters today, but I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like swimming like in my mind is like easy. Like swimming's easy. You're just in water. But after I do it,
Yeah.
my heart's all pumping. My stomach, you could feel it in my stomach, my heart pumping, and I'm just like, man, it's like, is it really easy? Like, why is my heart pumping so fast? But then I
It's
realized I'm like, okay, because I just
better
got
on
some
your
workout.
joints and all that too. There's no like shock from running on concrete and all that
Yeah.
other stuff. So, well, I think longevity, you could swim a lot longer than you could be a marathon runner for.
Yes, exactly. And then like tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna hit the bike up in the gym instead of hitting the. I think even the stairmaster kind of um helps out the
I think even
impact
I
compared to
prefer
running.
that over running.
And running is pretty
I
good. I
do
like
not
running
run.
though. That's the crazy part.
I'll run if my life depends on it, but
Well, your life might depend on it one day, and you might have to run. That's what a lot of people don't know. They're always
yeah,
talking about the world's going to end in a disaster. Like you always see people online talking about, the politics or whatever, and the world's going to end, but yet they don't get in physical fitness.
They're
It's
not
like,
ready
wait,
if it
don't you
does
think
go
that would be
down.
like a number one thing? Like if the world's going to go under, you better learn how to run. Or they're talking about like zombie apocalypse. Like you're either going to be a zombie or you better get physically fit.
I have been playing like it was like a ball game I played with my son and the neighbor friend where we try to run and hit each other with the ball. So like I'll get my running in then, but even like some days I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
I'll hit my ankle certain ways, but it's always on my left side. Like certain days it'll hurt, and I'm like it's probably because I've been running like a madman, like I'm 20 years old outside trying to play tag
Yeah.
with these little kids.
I don't
Um,
know why I like running, but it's kind of crazy. Like you say, your left side hurts. So like my whole right side hurts, and maybe because you're left-handed and I'm right-handed.
yeah, it's my left side and my left wrist too.
Yeah, and then so when you're running, what hurts? Like your knee?
It's my left. It's my right knee when we hike, but when I'm running, it's my
Mm,
left foot that hurts. My left foot will hurt. Like it'll be sore the next day from like a long ass hike. I'll
yeah.
just it's more sore than the my right side for whatever reason.
Mm,
And my left side's the one I messed up. I was like I was sleeping on it weird, I think, and I had my foot like propped up and I
hmm
fell asleep like that with like my foot hanging off the bed, but like in a kickstand kind of a position.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and it felt weird, and then it kind of started hurting more and more, and then yeah, it got to the point where my ankles all swollen, couldn't walk on it.
Just by sleeping, that's crazy. Because I like I'd hurt my back a couple nights sleeping. I was like woke up in the middle of the night and my sides hurting, like where my back muscles are. And I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, I was kind of contorted. It's like, damn, sleeping could really destroy you.
Sleeping all weird, sleeping at a
Yeah.
weird angle.
Yeah, I was like just tossing and turning. I ended up just at a weird angle. But it's just crazy because like a lot of people will not, the discomfort will stop a lot of people, just the thought of it. Because like you always say, oh, everyone says this, but people in general, they run away from pain and they run towards pleasure. So it's like
Yeah,
that is the main thing, that just human psychology. Like we're going to run away from pain, and you're going to run towards pleasure because that's just
yeah,
your body wants to do that. And nobody's running towards the pain. And the people that do are the ones that get the rewards. Like we're running towards the pain. Like, okay, it hurts a little bit, but I'll just go lighter weight, but I'm still going. Or I'll just kind of do
yeah,
different workouts, but I'm still going. But at the end, I'm like, I'm getting the rewards. By the other people, like, yeah, they're getting the pleasure of not doing it, of laying around or chilling or hanging out. But in the end, that's not good for your whole, obviously your health, and that's gonna
yeah.
eventually not be
For
good.
me too, I feel like it's not really good for your mental health just to kind of be like a lazy bum, sitting down, watching TV all day, eating bad foods. Like I think eventually it takes a toll on your mental health. Like
Yeah.
I've been feeling good lately, and I think I attribute that, maybe a little bit to the cold plunges, but I think even more so, like I know I'm eating good and I'm working out, like two of the things that I know I should be doing, like I could check them off. Where
Yeah.
before, it's like I knew I could do them, but the fact that I wasn't, I think, was kind of psychologically almost like taking away my confidence, maybe slowly but surely, and eventually got to a point where I was just like I'm, I have a lot of things to be thankful for and happy for, but
Yeah.
I just wasn't happy. And I think that was just a reflection of I wasn't happy with myself. Like I was capable of doing more, but I wasn't doing it, and it got me into like a little funk.
Hmm.
But I've noticed since I've been working out, like I'm like my mental health has been really good. I've been not too much
Yeah.
issues like financially or, I don't have any health concerns, but just doing those things, like I've just been feeling good lately.
Yeah. That's what my mental health is doing a lot better too. Like, and I think too, like when you're younger, you can literally destroy your body. Like, we both did it, smoking packs of cigarettes, drinking as much as we can till like 2, 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning,
Yeah.
4 in the morning. And, but you still don't like, you know, I don't think you're really realize that your body's feeling like junk, and that affects your mentals because like they say, like you put whatever you put in your body. That some people say like your brain is your first brain and your stomach is your second brain, or maybe I think it's the vice versa. Maybe your stomach
Might
is your
be
first brain.
reversed now.
Yeah, your stomach is your first brain
Hmm.
because what you put into your body goes into your stomach, and then it basically determines how your body is going to feel. And then if your body feels bad,
Certain
your
chemicals or lack of
yeah,
chemicals or nutrients.
yeah, and then your brain goes, okay, why does my like the body is sending me signals that it feels bad, and then it thinks bad, and then it just accumulates, and then now you're feeling down, you're a little depressed. But if you're starting putting the good stuff in your body, you're putting in nutrients, you're putting in water instead of soda, like all this other stuff, then like your stomach is telling your body like, hey, he's giving me the right stuff. Your body feels good. And then your brain's like, oh, my body is sending the body is sending me signals that it's feeling good. And then it kind of like gives you a you know, more positive thoughts in your head, and you feel better. And I think that helps out with the physical, like the mental health as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just crazy how like all works together. But most people think like your brain is the one that's making you feel bad, but maybe it's you're putting in your body, and your stomach is the what's telling your body, hey, I feel like this guy is poisoning us. What are you doing? And then your brain's like, wait, what's happening? What is he doing? He's poisoning us. Let's make this guy depressed
Yeah, it's probably
because
like a
of it.
combination of the two, and they kind of probably feed off of each other.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad, so I'm gonna eat more shitty, and I'm gonna eat shitty because I feel so bad, and then you just keep going back and forth, back and forth.
It's like that Austin
Maybe
Powers.
that's how people end up like 400, 500 pounds. Like,
It's like the Austin Powers
I
thing.
don't
I eat because
understand
I'm
why you
unhappy, and
do
I'm
this.
unhappy because I eat.
Yeah, was that
Like that cycle.
was that from Austin Powers?
Yeah, Austin Powers. Yeah.
I eat because I'm unhappy,
And I'm unhappy because
and I'm
I eat.
unhappy because I eat.
So your brain's depressed because what you're putting in your body, and then you're putting the stuff in your body because your brain's depressed. So it's like that same kind of
Yeah,
loop.
it's a vicious
It's just loop.
cycle. Once you get caught in like you're like trapped in your patterns, it gets
Yeah.
very hard to get out of it because once you start, you become so comfortable in your day-to-day routine that once you start to deviate from it, it feels so uncomfortable because you're like, I'm not used to doing all this stuff. Like somebody who's never been to the gym, they start going to the gym. It's like, this is
Mhm.
embarrassing. This is uncomfortable. I don't like it. So it's very easy for them to stop in those beginning stages because you might be doing something that's so foreign
Oh
and
yeah.
so uncomfortable that you're like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't deal with the psychological aspect of it. But it's kind of like you said earlier, if you don't do it, then you eventually get to the point where you're so unhealthy that, it's pick your heart. Which heart do you want? Do you want the heart of overcoming your fears of going to the gym and working out and learning how to get your nutrition dialed in, or do you want to deal with the heart of being obese or have
Yeah.
some sort of illness later in life? So
Yeah. It's
it's all
crazy. That's
hard.
all hard, but like it's also too. Do you want to live to 90, or do you want to live to 65? Like what are you
Yeah.
living for? What's your goals? Because like a lot of people say, well, I know people that didn't eat well and smoked and stuff, and they lived to 90. And I'm just like, okay, well, there's always outliers. There's an exception and there's a rule. But, everyone thinks that they're the exception. Not everyone could be the exception. Yeah. Yeah. That one person was an exception, your uncle. But then also, what's the quality of your life? Like I've heard people say, like, oh, I don't want to do this. I want to live now. I'll eat, not work out because it's only gonna, if I live to 90, that's the worst years of your life because people are
Yeah.
wiping your ass or whatever. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true because my dad died at 66 and he was fine. Like he could have lived another 20 years and moved around. He wasn't in a wheelchair or anything like that. So people make these like excuses in their head, which are just excuses. And, like it's totally valid maybe, but you're going to have to live with the consequences. Like, okay, you might be the outlier and live to 80 or 90, but those years might be in a wheelchair or where you can't move because your knees are totally messed up because you're 150 pounds overweight. So now your knees are totally shot. You can't move. And now you got a core mobility. You might not have no muscle mass. You fall down the stairs and
Yeah.
now you hit your head. Like, or you could choose the hard now, do the right things. And then when you're 70 or 80, you're not falling down the stairs. You're active. You could be playing pickleball out there. A lot of people play pickleball nowadays. You could be out there active and living a great quality of life. So it's a lot harder to me to think about like the situation. It's almost like no one thinks about the future. Like it's not going to happen. Like, or they're just an exception, but that's not the
Inevitable.
rule is the rule for a reason.
Yeah. And I think too, probably it seems like it'd be common that you don't start thinking about your health or maybe taking it seriously until you get a little bit older. Like, when I was
Oh
younger,
yeah.
I went through my little workout phase, but I wasn't doing it to be healthy. I was doing it because I wanted to look ripped and
Now you want to look sexy
be
for
all
the ladies.
jacked. But I was like, but now, I have a kid, I'm getting older. It's like, well, now I want to be there for my son. I was like, my dad passed away when he was I was 20, 19 or 20, and he
Mhm.
was 53. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's
way
only
too young.
13 years from where I'm at right now. So I'm like, I want to stick around on this planet longer and be there for my son. So I'm like, in order to do that, that's kind of what got me thinking about being more healthy too. It's like,
Yes,
you know, and I want to be able to keep up with him, be able to go out there and play and not be like,
it's
oh,
true.
daddy's
The
hurt
quality
or
of life.
my legs don't work anymore. So yeah, exactly. I want to have a good quality of life. I want to be able to play with him and be there for him.
Like another thing too is like a lot of people they don't learn from other people's mistakes. Like you're learning from what happened to your dad and like how you felt. And that's a personal experience. My dad died. I'm learning from him. I always say like the best thing he ever taught me is maybe dying earlier, like in the way he lived, because now I know that's what the outcome is. But some people they know that they if you eat bad and don't work out or whatever, what's going to happen. They get a stroke. They have like a minor heart attack, and then they still don't change. It's like what are you doing? Like it's like like me, like when I was younger, I felt like I was invincible, obviously. And then like now that I'm getting 40, I'm feeling like my metabolic health is like starting to mess up. I'm like, okay, I was checking my blood pressure. My blood pressure was high. I'm like checking my sugar level, which I've never done before, and it's high. So I'm just thinking that like, okay, this is why I feel like this. I feel really, really bad. And then it's like, okay, then I start thinking about okay, what happened to my dad and what's happened. Like, this is my path. I'm going to die. Like, and I don't want to live that same history. So now I'm like, okay, let me change everything up and do what you have to do. Like you're learning from all these people, and you're just learning what you can, and you start feeling better. And you're like, okay, now I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm starting to eat more nutritious. I'm not eating no fast food, not drinking sodas, and you start feeling your body change. And it takes a while for your body to adapt to the new lifestyle. But eventually it's like, oh man, it's like you start feeling it's like, okay, maybe, and then you start checking your stuff and your blood pressure is going down, your sugar levels going down, and it's like your stomach's going down. And you're like, and you're looking back at your old pictures and stuff, and you're like, wow, that used to be me. Like, no
Yeah.
wonder why I felt like that. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? But some people never do that, even if they are knocking on death's door. They're like knocking on death's door and they're still, just like, oh well, this is what I do. It's like I don't know if they just don't have the knowledge or they don't or they just I don't know what it is or they just but to me and like to you like we're learning from that. We're like no, like I don't even have a kid,
Yeah.
but I
It's
still
like,
like I don't want to die.
you know, I can't really understand too, like other people. It's like I look at life from my own perspective. I guess I could understand it's easier to not go to the gym. It's easier to not work out. It's easier to indulge in your pleasures just
Yeah.
because it's easy.
Yes.
Um, but at some point, you got to realize too, if you're overweight and you're eating bad and you're drinking alcohol on the weekends and smoking and just wilding out, eventually you're going to get to a point where your body's going to start fighting back.
Yes.
Sooner or later, like your liver's going to go out. You're going to have some sort of health ailment hit you, and I've always thought like, why wait to till that point? Why wait till
Yeah.
the diagnosis from your doctor? Oh, if you don't stop living the way you do, you're going to be dead in 6 months. Like, why even wait to that point? Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to wait to that point. And I feel like I'm glad that I stopped drinking when I did because I probably would end up in a very similar position as my dad. Like, he never went to the doctors and
Yeah.
never saw him work out a day in my life. I don't think I really saw him eat any veggies. So
Yep.
I do not want to end up like him. So I am doing what I can while I'm still healthy to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's crazy because it's like that's the same thing. It's like, and then like a lot of people think like, oh well, I didn't know or whatever. It's like your body gives you signals. Like you're saying, it fights back. Like your body will give you signals. Like I'm saying, like I was just laying there and I feel my stomach like literally beating like with my heart. And I'm like, why is it beating so hard? And I'm like, then I started noticing it. And like when I would eat food, it would go up. And I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So that's why I went and ended up getting the high blood pressure, the blood pressure machine. And then it shows like, oh, I'm in hyperextension 2. I'm in hyperextension 3. And I'm like, that's high as hell. Like, that you need to like, and like it was because my body was giving me signals, and your body gives you signals, and you got to listen to your body. Like when you're out there, you have to listen to your body because it's telling you like something's wrong, and if you don't fix it, we're gonna die. Your body doesn't want to die. Like your whole like your DNA and everything, your whole body works to make you survive. Like it wants to survive. It's a miraculous machine, like, and it tells you. And if you don't listen to it, then you're gonna get that the demise of you, or like, or even worse, like
Yeah.
you'll just have something happen and then you'll be in a wheelchair or something. Like get a stroke, and then you can't have no function of your body. Imagine that. Like that would be horrible. Like, and it's funny too because
Yeah.
when I had blood pressure, people would tell me, "Oh, you need to go to the doctor and get on blood pressure pills." And I'm just like, no, like I'm not going to take a pharmaceutical, which that's what they want you to do. It's like the standard American diet ends up on the standard American diseases, and
Yeah.
they want you to get on pharmaceuticals. I'm like, no, I'm like, let me try life. I'm young enough. I'm only 39, 40 years old. Let me try lifestyle change first. And if I get skinny and I lose 30 pounds and I start eating nutritiously, and then I still have high blood pressure, then I'll go like, okay, maybe I need to get on some medication. But it's like people just instantly just think like the easy way out. Let's just go to the pill. Like that's the main thing. And like the doctors, like I was reading a book today, they say like doctors don't even tell you much about like fitness, like about like eating well or nothing. Like a lot of them don't even have took any training in nutrition at all. They're just like, like,
Yeah.
well, they get incentives to give you a pill, and that's what they'll do. Like, like give you a pill and get the next customer in here, give him a pill, and just
Yeah,
like as
exactly.
much as you can, and then they're making millions of dollars. These doctors are well, they're making a lot of money as well, but no one's teaching you
Yeah.
like
I feel like
how to be healthy.
that's the common thing here in America is take this pill, come back to me when you need a refill. Let's not fix any of the root problems. Let's not talk about your nutrition. Let's not talk about your physical activity. Let's just take this pill and then come back and see me when you run out or
Yeah,
but I'm like you, like I do not like taking pills. Like
yeah. I mean, I
I
never
don't even
have.
like taking Motrin if I don't have to.
Yeah, me either. I don't
I'll
take
take
it.
medicine if I absolutely have to,
Yeah,
but rather focus on my health to maintain my health
yeah.
instead of relying on some chemical to
And we
to
and we
change to
yeah, and we
change
all
me.
know though how much side effects these pharmaceuticals have.
Yeah,
There's
that's
so many
another
like
thing. You start taking pain pills, like your liver is filtering that, so
yeah.
eventually, your liver is going to start going out, and
You
then
take a high blood pressure
now we need
pill,
another pill to
yeah, for
help with your
that.
liver, and now
You end
you
up
need
on
a
eight
third
pills.
pill. Like you hear, I've heard like a lot of stories that people are like, oh, I'm taking 12 different pills or plus a day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, my older brother had a heart attack at 30 and he was on 9 different pills. But his was because mainly of drug use is why,
mm,
but that's why he had a heart attack at 30. He was just staying up for so long, 2 weeks, and he had a heart attack, but he was on 9 pills. But like even like the blood pressure pill, like I heard people their kidneys start going out. It's like so it's like okay, I have high blood pressure, so I'm gonna take the blood pressure pill, and then my kidneys are gonna go out, and I'm gonna be on dialysis. It's like why wouldn't
yeah,
I just make a
maybe,
lifestyle change?
yeah,
Huh?
maybe use it if you're in like a deadly, your blood
Yeah.
pressure is it's like deadly high. Like use it
Yes.
for a month or something to bring it down, but diet and exercise to help keep it down
Yeah.
and stay healthy.
And the book I was reading too, it's like, okay, you might be able to take the prescription pills to help save you, but you also should be doing the diet as well because there's no negative benefits for that. There's like you're not going to be eating fruits and vegetables and good food and exercise and then be like, okay, now I'm getting worse. I'm dying now because I'm eating so good. It's like that's just not going to happen. It's like yeah. So it's just crazy. Like just like basically the main topic of today's podcast is like learning like how to get through this discomfort and get through this thing and try to stay consistent and disciplined with this stuff because that's the only way you're going to do it. Like I ate bad 2 times this week, but it was like nowhere compared to how I used to eat bad. Like I would use full size soda, big old fry at Baker's, eat it 3 times a day, like 3 meals like that a day. And this time I just had like a Subway sandwich, the healthiest one I could get, like no bad stuff on it, just chicken and all that stuff. And then I ate too much. I was like, oh, I just ate too much Subway today, or like then I came home and had like something, but I'm not eating the sodas. I'm not. So it's like you're getting better, but and then eventually I need to even get better from there. Start eating more nutritious stuff and stuff like that because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't do that. It's like so easy to go back to the food. I think that's like the easiest one, like to just eat a cupcake
Yep.
if you wanted.
So much easier going back to what you're comfortable with.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
sucks too because I think I think in the society where everything's so instant that I don't people don't expect to go to the gym and like walk out like, oh, I have a six pack now, but it's like the same thing with your diet. It's like you can't start eating good and then expect a week later you're like, oh, I'm gonna feel better. It's like if you've messed up on your nutrition for 20 years, like it might take some
Yeah.
time to get into a point where you're feeling good and things are starting to change for you.
Yep.
So it's like the delayed gratification. I think that's the way to put it. It's like when you work out, you know it's going to take a while for you to get
Mhm.
to a certain level of
Yes.
leanness or muscle build.
Six
Um,
pack.
Same thing with the health. Like it's going to take a while for you to reverse things. If you're
Yeah.
pretty bad to start off with.
And then like someone said online, like, why should it be easy anyhow? Like this is like if you're fit and you're doing good, like it shouldn't be easy. Like, now like when people see you, they know like, hey, he did that work and his parents didn't do it for him. No, his wife didn't do it for him. Nobody did that work for him. He went and worked his ass off every day in order to get that
I
six
think
pack and that
I think
lean
it was
stomach.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. And okay,
He
Andrew
was
Tate.
like, somebody asked me like, what's the easiest way to get a six pack? And he's like, why does it have to be easy? Why can't you
Yeah.
work your ass off? Why can't it be hard? Like that's what gives it its value is
Yes, the value.
because it was hard to attain. Not if everyone had it was walking around with the six pack, there would be no it would have no
Yeah,
value, which makes sense.
exactly.
Like the reason why we kind of idolize it is because we know it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes discipline, it takes diet, it takes all these things coming together in order
Yeah.
to achieve that. So we could admire it because
Yeah.
we know it's hard to achieve.
And trust me, when I'm at the gym, like there's a lot of hot girls there, but I'll be checking out the guys too. I'm just like, man, how long did it take him to get that? Like, I'm like, that guy's been doing that for 5, 10 years, 20 years. Like some, like, especially the guys that, that have like the real bulky arms and stuff. It's just crazy. Cause I'm just like, damn, it's like, immediately, like they put in the work, like they did it,
Yeah.
and they're healthy. Like, but
And I
it's
know
like you
people
said,
go ahead.
earlier, like just because you're healthy on the outside, like you're all muscular and stuff, doesn't mean you're healthy on the inside as well. You got to take care of that nutrition. Because I think most like I say, like sleep is number one, but food is like number two, like more important than working out. Like if anyone's like trying to get healthy, I would say concentrate on your sleep and your food, because what goes in your body is like you're a chemical plant, like your biology, like what you're putting in, like those nutrients. Your body needs all those nutrients. It needs fiber. It needs like antioxidants. It needs all this stuff to. And if you're just eating fries and soda, like yeah, you're not getting none of that. And then
Yeah, definitely
that's
not.
how you're gonna get healthy, is by the
Yeah.
food.
It's like they say to you, you can't out or what is it? You'll never over
You can't
I
outwork a bad diet.
butchering it. You can't out train a bad diet.
Yeah, and no,
So
you
like
can't.
that's what I was doing too back in the day. So I know it's like you could bust your ass in the gym, but if your calories are way
Yeah,
too high, like you're just going to be spinning your wheels. So
and we all know like
everything to kind of converge and
you
get
eat a
into
400, you eat a candy bar that's 400 calories. It takes a long time to run that off. Like you
and
literally have
then
to run like
in that
quite a
400
bit.
calorie chocolate bar, it's not going to keep you full for as
Yeah,
long. So
yeah,
after a
that
little
too.
bit, you're going to be hungry, and then oh, what else can I eat? And if you go
Yeah,
back to junk food, then you're kind of stacking all these
hmm
negatives.
yeah.
But
That's
if
why I
you
say like
eat 200 grams of chicken breast, like you're like, oh, it'll keep you full for a little bit, and
yeah,
the calories
protein will
are
just fill
probably
you up.
half.
When you're done eating, when you're hitting protein, like you're just eating protein, it's like okay, I'm just automatically full. I just can't eat anymore. And also if you eat leafy greens too, because like if you eat a lot of like kale or spinach, like like it fills up your stomach, like because there's
Mhm.
like more, it's not like just a little candy bar, and then
Yeah,
and
exactly.
digests faster and easier as well.
Yep, it helps you poop better too.
Yeah, the fiber. But there's like so much nutrients in it. Like people are like, well, there's sugar inside of the things, but there's so much good stuff in it. There's all the stuff that you need, that your body needs. It craves. Like we've been eating this stuff for thousands of years, like thousands and thousands of years of meat. We've been eating that, but we also been eating fruits and vegetables. We're not eating processed food. We're not eating soda. Like I heard that like ate like more soda in a day or a week or something than like our ancestors ate in their whole entire life, like more sugar. We eat
Yeah,
more sugar than we have, and then our ancestors ate in their whole entire life in like in a day.
I wonder how much sugar is in a Starbucks drink. It's probably your body probably doesn't even know how to handle that. Like, what the hell is this? Like, this amount of sugar
Yeah.
obviously it's not going to happen naturally. You probably couldn't eat enough strawberries or fruits to get that amount of sugar in
No.
you. So when
No.
your body gets a hold of it, it's probably hyper stimulated, goes into overdrive.
Yep. All
Talk
right.
about
Well,
it sometimes, but
we're gonna have to cut this podcast episode off because less than a minute to go,
all right,
or before Zoom kicks us off. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do them longer on future podcasts. But this one's gonna be ending right now. So
all right, yeah, we'll figure it out.
that
40
was a pretty
minutes.
good episode,
It
though.
went by pretty fast.
Yeah. Hopefully, people got a lot of knowledge off this, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Anything
Yep.
else to say?
Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Peace
See
out, guys.
you at episode 3.
See you there. All right. Late.